I'm Layla and I'm from Dublin in Ireland and I'm a tour guide. I used to work in a museum, but now I pound at the pavements and I bring people around to wherever they really want to go, or like a set path, and show them the sights and a bit of history here. I noticed when I was doing my tours that I was definitely a little sluggish, and I'd known for a few years that I'm not fit. But I've always just kind of put it off, and then you go, I'm like, I have stuff to do at home, I have a child, can't. So I was just putting it off, but I was eating more and more, and I realised my eating was getting out of control. And so I had seen boot camps advertised, and you always see like celebrities doing these kind of things, but I wanted something that was more normal, if that makes sense, and it seemed more friendly and more doable. And then I found this one. And I had researched this for a little bit, and I got back onto the website, but no, I'll go back. And then I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I was just feeling rubbish, and I wasn't really able to, like, I'd come back from a tour and I think I was just like sweating, and I was just like, and I don't want my clients to know like that I'm not, able, so I hope none see this, but but I'm fitter now. So it's that thing of like, I just feel so sluggish. And then I remember I went into my partner's bedroom out the door, I was like, I'm going on boot camp and I'm going to do such a thing. So he was like lying up like, what are you talking about? And that was the moment I decided. And he was like, okay, all right, okay. And I don't think he really thought about it, because it was weeks ahead, and then I was building up to it. And yeah, so I knew I was definitely going to go. One of the trainers, I think, said it at the beginning, your brain has been preparing for it, but your body doesn't know what's going to hit it when you arrive. So, and like, you don't sign up for a boot camp lightly. Everybody does. Like, you kind of know what you're getting into. You watch all the videos, and if you don't watch all the videos, you should watch all the videos, and you should do your research and know what you're doing before you come, just so that you have a good idea and a good base for when you start off. But yeah, I was really nervous. So everyone was busy when I arrived, and they were getting the house ready, and it's way more luxurious than you ever imagine, and everybody is way more friendlier than you ever imagine. So that eases you in a little bit, and it prepares you. And getting a good night's sleep before you start the next day is really important as well, and just settling in and getting to know the house and the grounds and stuff like that. It's really good. It's a great idea. So my expectations were exceeded in that sense. I walked out and I could see all this stuff, and I knew it was going to be hard, but I didn't think I was going to physically feel the way I felt. Like, I felt great doing it when I'd complete one part, but then there was a point where I felt like I was going to get sick. But then the trainers are so good, and then your campmates are really good as well, because you will find people that push you on. So I wouldn't be great at fitness whatsoever. I haven't done fitness properly like ever, and I've dipped in and out of exercise my whole entire life. So this would be my first real go at it, and I felt like I was going to spew. And like, I could feel it as far as here. And at one stage I said, like, I do think I'm going to get sick. And they were like, don't worry about it, it's fine. Like, these things happen in camp. But I worked on it really hard not to, and I just kept breathing. And you would hear words of encouragement from trainers, or you'd hear words of encouragement for your campmates, and then it just keeps you going. And then you realise, I'm over that part now. And then you realise you've come around and you've done so many more laps of like throwing wheels and logs and everything. And you're like, oh my God, I'm actually doing it. And then you feel really proud of yourself. And then you have another sluggish moment, but you push on. But coming from Ireland, I was very aware that there'd be lots of people that live here in England, but then I was pleasantly surprised. There's people from everywhere that come here, and I've heard from people who've returned more and more, because that's a wonderful thing as well. You see people that have come loads of times, and they will tell you, like, people from around the world come, and not to feel nervous, and it's fine. And you're always going to find, like, I've been very lucky, our group has been amazing, but you're always going to find one or two people that you dealt with, and you're going to be fine. I cried this morning for various reasons, which I won't go into, but I did cry this morning. And again, the trainers were just really good, and your campmates as well, because when you have like a lot, you're trying to hold it in and you don't want anyone to see, but obviously people get to know you and they know how you work and that, so they do try. And like, people stopped, and when they could see I was clearly struggling, and they were like, no, it's okay. Like, even though they were struggling as well, but they pushed me on, and so that was really helpful. Getting through that run this morning that I've struggled with, I never would have thought that I got through that run. Not puking on my first day, that was another run. Loads of highlights for the people, because they have been really, really good. I'm torn and bedraggled, like everything that I wouldn't want to be usually, but I feel really good. And I've achieved something that I never ever thought that I would achieve. So that's a real highlight as well. And there's been loads of laughs along the way. The staff here are amazing as well, like the people that work here. They become like your family in that as well. And I wasn't feeling really well the other day, like Jamie looked after me, and yeah, so if there's loads of highs that you can take away from that, because those are not the things when you sign up for something like this that you think you're going to come away with as well, because you're like, geez, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be skinny. I'm like, that's what you're determined to do. But then all of the other lovely things happen along with it, because everybody else has their own goals that they're trying to achieve as well, so they understand. I'm stronger than I thought I was. Physically, I'm stronger than I thought I was. Mentally, I'm stronger than I thought I was. I am excited, but I don't know if it's because I'm high now and like adrenaline and like all the good endorphins are running around after exercise, but it's become a little bit less about that. Like when I started off, I was like, I want to lose belly fat and I want to lose this amount of weight. But now I think if I can keep up, okay, it mightn't be the same level of fitness that's here because that's a really intense level of fitness, but if I can keep up a good amount of fitness, like today I was contemplating my life decisions as I was running around, just running up and down that lane, but I was like, if I can go home and I can do 5 laps of our big park running, like that's amazing. Wouldn't have never dreamed of doing something like that. So it's less about the weight and it's more about going forward. Watch the videos, know what you're getting in for, but don't be scared either, because it is really, really, really hard, but you'll get a lot of support along the way, and the trainers are well able to read your ability. And if you do struggle with something, like so today I really struggled, just for example, I really struggled doing the running, and I was really like thinking I can't continue with this, but the trainer Johnny said, look, if you're really struggling, it's 10 minutes or 10 seconds run, 10 seconds walk. So it makes it, you're still keeping a pace, you're still doing all the things you need to do. So don't worry what your ability is, and also don't worry about what other people look like or what, you know, I mean, just come the way you are, because I've heard people say to me, oh, you look quite slim, like, you know, I wasn't fit though. There was nothing about me that was fit. And then you see people that might be slightly bigger or slightly smaller and that, but everybody has their own goal to get to, and don't be worried. And if you really want to do it, just do it. That's tough. Challenging, rewarding, and there is fun.